same videos that a lot of the things that are created here in the United States or worldwide come from black people. And barbecue were created or started with us. And I laugh now that the last decade or so, there have been TV shows and restaurants popping up all around the country of barbecue places. Now, I remember when I was a kid growing up, if my parents or aunts or uncles or some family member or neighbor was not barbecuing, you can go to the corner restaurant and get you some tips, some links, some chicken, and make sure they put a bunch of mild sauce on it, right? Well, those places started to disappear. And I know that there was a lot of people saying that the health department closing down because some of them wasn't really sanitary, which some wasn't. And I have to admit, going over my head, going back and looking and like, yeah, that place wasn't that great. But then some of them was doing excellent business, and they wasn't participating in the shakedowns where some of these health inspectors or city officials were participating in. And then they were taking business away from other restaurants that even wasn't selling that type of food. But people would say, well, I'm not going to go get no McDonald's. I'm going to go get a large or small tip or a bucket of tips and feed the kids and the husband or, the wife and the kids and go about my business. And then all of a sudden, you saw white folks conversion in certain parts of town. Now, I grew up on the west side. You had Rib Supreme, Rip Lady, Cleo's, and a few more Coleman's. You had a few more places in between. Now, some of them was hit and miss at times because a lot of times people would leave and let family members take over or employees would take over. But then something happened in the 90s. You start seeing foreigners come in and started copying, tried to copy. And a lot of times those places didn't last long. But like I said, the last decade or so, you started seeing a bunch of white folks come in, and you start seeing a bunch of Hispanics come in. Now, it's a famous barbecue place or a well-known barbecue place on the south side. It's called Leon's, if I'm not mistaken. Guess what? Hispanics. It was a black guy that created it, but guess who got it now? Hispanics. And I remember going over there probably about I say about 8 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. And the food tastes like crap. Then there was another barbecue place called Captain Kirk's. They got to the point now they hit and miss. And again, there's another place called Kenny's that Oprah had on her show that they try to be slick and try to boil the meat and put the barbecue sauce on it. So I got my issues with some of our establishments now taking the quick way out instead of doing the way we was shown how, by our fathers and grandfathers, our grandmothers and aunts and cousins and whatnot. But now you got these chain restaurants popping up, and my thing is they learn how to do these things based off watching us. But I know y'all saying, what did this got to do with anything? Well, trust me, it got a lot to do with how we celebrate holidays and how we recognize our culture and patriotism. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because barbecuing or grilling, as some people might want to say, is a black thing. We created it, and now it's unanimous with the 4th of July or Memorial Day or whatever summertime holiday it is or get together. And I think a lot of people see blacks barbecuing on this day and assume that blacks are celebrating the 4th of July, which a lot of blacks are not celebrating the 4th of July. They're just out having a good time. Just so happened a lot of us get together on that day. Now, when I was a kid, I remember my father's siblings, they would get together and they would cook food and whatnot. His eldest brother would get all the family together over at his place. We all lived in the same apartment complex, but he would get everybody together and he would barbecue. My grandmother would be there, my father's sisters and brothers, cousins from out of town. And it wasn't celebrating the 4th of July per se, because I don't recall us playing with firecrackers like that. We listened to a lot of Al Green, the Clark Sisters, the Isley Brothers, and Marvin Gaye, and we sat around, talked and played games and talked and whatnot. And we wasn't up there saying God bless America. Just that day, we knew that family members would be off work. And I said, let's get together. Now, we probably said celebrate the 4th of July, but we really didn't mean it. Now, I know somebody going to be sitting there saying, yo, you niggas are unpatriotic. No. A lot of black folks, where we talk about it now out loud, we know that the 4th of July was never really intended for us. And if some people had it their way, it would never be intended for us. Yeah, there's some brothers and sisters who celebrate. Some brothers and sisters feel patriotic. I get that. I can't get mad at them for it, because whether we like it or not, our ancestors did fight for this country. And we have just as much right to say what goes on in this country than anybody else. But we constantly always acquiesce our voice to other people. Now, I get somebody coming from another country who may not have, who may not be able to do the things that you and I maybe get to do. They may have a different perspective. And I get that. I don't begrudge them. I just tell them, don't pass judgment on us. Don't tell us how we should feel about this. Some people like to question a person's intent when they go join the military. And they'll realize a lot of us join the military because, well, finances. Because not one time have you ever seen me singing the song God Bless America, or talking about let's go out here and do this for the country and blah blah. I've never said that, because I know it's complex when it comes down to black folks. A lot of black folks don't celebrate the 4th like white people do, because our experience is different. I think what we do is we celebrate the get together. Excuse me, folks. Allergies. We like looking at the fireworks, but it doesn't mean we celebrate the 4th. And now there are white folk that do this, that have the same opinion. But see, it's a perception. Now, I know that black people out here on social media have made videos saying, if you celebrate the 4th, you're stupid. No. We had to be very careful, and we had to be very nuanced with this one. Now, I can barbecue anytime. I don't wait till the 4th of July and say I'm going to barbecue. Now, if that's the day that family members and us want to we all got off and want to get together and say, why don't we do it, and it happen to be that day, that's different. If we say we want to go out and watch the fireworks, which I'm not a big fan of anymore because of post-traumatic stress disorder, I don't like all the loud explosions, because I never really get comfortable anymore. But that doesn't mean that if we enjoy those things or don't, that we hate America or we're for America. It just, blacks have a different history. You know, when people talk about the Statue of Liberty, a lot of people don't know that the Statue of Liberty and these things that we connect with the United States, or these speeches were based upon us, or what we hope America would be, and then it was never pan out that way. And I think I jumped ahead about Statue of Liberty, but I'll go back to that. But I want to point out this. How can we celebrate the United States of America and the flag when you got people still flying that flag around? That means there are people still in this country that think that black folk lives are not worthy. So, in our right, can a black person sit there openly and honestly say celebrate America? Look what Reverend White said. He said, no. Not God bless America. Goddamn America. And white folks knew what he meant. Even black folks knew what he meant. But because they wanted to try to question our patriotism, when in fact that man served in not one but 2 branches of the United States military. When you have some, they never serve. See, that's the thing. Waving the flag, waving fireworks around, getting a bunch of people around in parades, that'll make you patriotic. There are a lot of people out there who claim to be in love with this country and do hateful and shitty ass things. I mean, you have men and women who are born here who have joined terrorist cells, and there were quite a few of them are white. I remember when 9/11 happened, a lot of those white men and white women was running around talking about, oh, we got to do this, we got to fight this, we got to do this. And then when it came time to make that sacrifice, well, you know, I got to stay with my family, I can't do this. And then like we went to basic training, I remember some of the guys, when they realized that we was going to have to go to a rapid deployment stations, you know, places around the country where you know that you was going to Iraq or Afghanistan, all of a sudden they started crying about it. But yet they were supposed to be patriotic. So just because somebody say God bless America or wave a flag on the 4th of July or take my parade don't make them any more American than you. Now back to the Statue of Liberty. How many of y'all know the Statue of Liberty is based upon a black woman? It was a black, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. How can you have this symbol in New York, I guess the harbor of New York, I guess, and then get to the United States and then start questioning people's loyalty when people come over? I already told you that we would, by pledging and come over and working their ass off, saying that they want to be a part of this country, but yet you treat them like they are savages, or they somehow they're not worthy. And look, black folks didn't get, my ancestors didn't get welcomed by the Statue of Liberty. So me and many other blacks have a different perspective on patriotism and the 4th of July. Now that doesn't mean I hate America, because I mean I can't hate something that really can't hate me back or love me back. I'm a little bit just more cautious with what I do and what I say. But it doesn't make you any less of a black person if you do wave a flag or not. I just say don't wave it with such zeal, because their brothers and sisters are still being shot down and attacked as we speak across this country. There are people who are pissed off because you and I have the audacity to say Black Lives Matter, or you and I have the audacity to say we need to focus on our community. So if you a black person out there barbecuing on the 4th of July or some fireworks, that doesn't mean you necessarily celebrating the independence of this country. You just enjoying a nice day at your family side. They wanted to cook some ribs. You know, like today I didn't barbecue. My father didn't barbecue. My auntie didn't barbecue. You can do that anytime. As I said before, blacks, we have a different take on the 4th of July. That doesn't mean we don't love our country or we don't care about this country. Just that we're not going to celebrate a day where our independence wasn't even acknowledged. Our lives wasn't even acknowledged. And to today, we still got black men and black women and children in this country still treated as if they're not worthy of anyone's love or respect. So if somebody wants to question our patriotism, tell them to fuck off. They don't get that right to do that. There are a lot of people who wrap themselves in the flag and won't make any sacrifice, won't help another human being, but then turn around and want to pass judgment on you. Fuck them. Just because somebody said God bless America don't mean they're really down with America. Anybody can say God bless America and turn around and do the opposite. So don't ever question a black person's loyalty, considering that every day we're told that we're not wanted in a place that we've created and maintained. So if you don't want to barbecue or go out for the fireworks today, you can do it any time during the year, just depending on how you feel.